Welcome to Ted's Outdoors. Today I will be doing a quick review field test and review of the Schrade SCHF38. I know it's a mouthful, so I'll call it the Schrade 38 from now on. So like I said, we'll be calling this knife the Schrade 38, and the real name is SCHF38. This is a full tang knife made by Schrade, as you know, Schrade, and it's made out of 1095 high carbon steel. I don't know if they call it high carbon steel or carbon steel, but I think it's the same thing. It's full tang, so that means that the blade, meaning the tang, runs all the way to the hilt of the knife. It has pinned on TPE handle scales, just pinned on here, and you can, or no, they're not pinned on, they're bolted on. So you can unbolt those and easily take the scales off. For any reason, if you want to get new ones, make your own, put paracord on there. I wouldn't suggest paracord though. And then it has jimping here. Jimping, for those who don't know, is just little rivets, or slots I should say, cut out of the steel to add grip for either thumb or just your hand. And you got them down here on the bottom. And then you have a very, very nice pummel on the bottom. So if I tuck up this paracord, I can smash anything I want. This is the sheath. Comes with fire steel right here. Now, before I move on, I should say that I don't know all the exact specs of this knife. So I will manually measure out this whole entire knife, and I'll put all the specs in the description below. So all you have to do is click the description and look at all the specs if you have any questions about size, weight, everything like that. So that'll just be right in the description to save time on the video. So this is the 90-degree spine. You can't see the sparks very well because it's windy today and it doesn't work very well. But the spine is a hard 90 degrees to strike the ferro rod or fire steel. And this is the one that Schrade provides for you with the knife. Comes free of charge. Now I have a piece of orange paracord on there along with on the knife just so I don't lose it, because I can easily drop this knife here and then lose it. But then you also have a striker. I have another piece of orange paracord on here to strike the flint, or not flint, but ferro rod or fire steel. That's really good. It's a little bit small though. I would like it to see it a little bit bigger, but it was free. Now, whoops. With each purchase of one of the Schrade SCHF models, or the newer models, the first, or the bushcraft survival series that they just came out with 2015, it comes with this sharpener. Now I'm not going to test it out because I don't want to screw up the edge that I already have on there that I've worked on. But this is very fine stone, so this will be great for getting a working edge back onto it once it gets dull. But not, you know, you could probably get nicks or dings out of it with this. This might take some time because it's pretty fine. And that fits right in the pouch. And the pouch can extend to hold more stuff with this elastic right here. And that's held by Velcro. And then the knife slides into the sheath securely like that, and it's got the snap. And it's got no rattle at all, which is kind of surprising actually. Usually sheaths like this will come with a little bit rattle, but that's just about perfect. So I just want to talk about the sheath. Talk about the sheath real quick, because that's a big controversy with most people out there. And as supporters of my channel know, and fans of my channel know, I do love Kydex sheaths. I usually like them over leather because I think they last a little bit longer and they hold up to the elements a little bit better. But to be 100% honest with you, 100% honest, this is not a bad sheath in the slightest. I've heard people knock the sheath and they say, oh, it's just bad, you know, you're gonna have to get a new one right away. But honestly, it's not bad. I don't see any problems in the immediate future with the sheath. As I said earlier, there's no rattle in the sheath. It's got a good retention strap that can be adjusted, so you can actually adjust this to a different knife handle, so you can put another knife around the same size in here. So right here is where you can take the knife sheath off your belt without taking your belt off, or put it on your belt with just some Velcro. Now, I haven't found that to work very well, just because I like my belts a little bit tighter because I usually have more gear on them. But that can work for some people. You know, just my preference, I'm just going to take my belt off and slip the knife sheath on. Now, This is a newer model sheath. If you've gotten one of their old knives like the SCHF10, it will have a different sheath. It's very similar, but this is higher quality in my opinion. And so really, I don't think I'll get a kayak sheath very soon. I will probably invest in it, but do I have to? No, you can get by with this sheath totally, in my opinion. So having a knife about this size is just about perfect for me. It's 5.77 inch blade, so about 6 inch blade, and it just works perfect. That's about the size I want in any knife, really. It's not the size I usually carry because I usually like an EDC knife, but perfect size. And I bought this knife for $34, I think, $35 maybe. And one thing I forgot to point out before we get onto the testing is this right here, this divot. It's not a blood groove. I wouldn't say it's a blood groove. I think since it fits the fire steel just about perfect, I think it's for striking the fire steel. So as you can see, I'm not dulling the edge of my blade, I'm just striking the fire steel. Yes, this knife can make feather sticks very well. This is kind of a green stick. I thought it was dead when I cut it, but the tree was down and dying, so it cut down a live tree. Despite the thickness, it does this very well because it has a hollow grind, but it's kind of like a Scandi grind. So it does this very, very well. This Schrade could easily become my new favorite knife. So as you can see, it makes a pretty fine feather stick and does some pretty good carving. And again, I worried about the thickness when I first bought it because the grind on here isn't very high. So it goes 0 to whatever this grind angle is, and that's very low. And so I was worried about that, but it's really not a problem. And I was surprised by that. So you can do all sorts of different carving if you want. Make a spear, whatever. I'll add more footage of me batoning some heavy wood in my backyard, because that way I can really test it. So you'll see that. So another use for this 90-degree spine is saving down fat wood. Which, as some of you know, is my favorite tinder, or one of. Fat wood is not one to save down. I'm just going to curl it actually. Get some really fine curls. And there we are. That's just fat wood. It's not always the best idea to stab your knife into a log, by the way. I do it anyway, though, because I'm like that. So yes, you can get a fire going with this knife and materials that you gathered from around. That's a piece of pine resin, if you were wondering. Please don't go out. No, I do not think this is abuse for a knife. I think this is a proper test, because you want a knife to be really tough. Ready?
Yeah. Okay.
So, that's pretty much the full review of this knife. Yeah, it can baton. Yeah, it can start a one-stick fire. It can easily do all of the tasks you need. I put my name to this. If it said Ted's Outdoors on the blade, I would be totally fine with that because I fully support this blade. I fully support Schrade because of this blade. They just seem like the new up-and-coming brand of knives for this year, 2015, and maybe on. Their prices, you can't beat them. Their stuff, you can't beat it, for the price at least. And it's just amazing, truly. Now you've seen it do the one-stick fire. You've seen it baton in my backyard. I'll film that. So yeah, would I recommend this blade? Yeah, I would recommend this blade to literally anybody looking for a tactical blade. It's going to be a great tactical blade. Any survival knife for any bushcrafter looking to get in bushcraft. You don't necessarily need a knife this small and thin. You can have a big thick knife like this if you want to. It's not that big a deal in my opinion. So one thing you did not see me do with this knife is chop. Nope, I'm not going to chop with a knife. It's not going to happen. I've done one knife review before. You did not see me chop with that knife. It was about the size of my Benchmade, as you've seen, and not going to happen. Even with a knife this big, it's just under a pound. I think I'll put the exact weight in the description from knife. Oh, I also got this from knifedepot.com. You can go check them out. They sell all three of them, or all two of them as of right now. So yeah, I'm not going to chop with this knife. It's not going to happen. If you want to see another chop test with this knife, you can go see another review. It's not going to happen with me. I don't think it's efficient. I don't think it's a true test of a knife. I think just batoning through something is so much more efficient. One baton you can usually get through something you have to chop through about 5 times. Yeah, so I'm Ted, and these are my outdoors. Thank you guys all for watching. I really appreciate your views. I appreciate your support, whether it's subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing. It all helps, and it's all appreciated. Thank you very much, guys.
Quack, quack.